Please.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. First, I want to thank colleagues from across the Chamber for supporting this and also the previous motion. This is an important issue that needs to be debated, and the support from a motion demonstrates a widespread opposition to Clydeport's Conservancy fee plans. This reflects the dialogue I've had with the boating sector, as everyone I've spoken to rejects the proposed Conservancy fee for the Clydeport area, a view also held by many people who are not sailors or boaters. Presiding Officer, in today's polarised world, it's rare to actually find an issue that unifies everyone. But when it comes to this issue, it's clear that people think this proposal is not appropriate and it must be abandoned. The Clyde belongs to the people of Scotland, not corporate interests. I established a cross-party group on recreational boating and marine tourism in 2009, and we have been pivotal in delivering Scotland's first marine tourism strategy, which was Awakening the Giant in 2015, and also the refreshed strategy, Giant Strides, in 2020. We are an active cross-party group. Now, to provide some background to the motion, in August 2024, Clydeports presented to a group of Clyde-based marina operators their initial plans to levy a Conservancy fee on all leisure vessels between 6 metres and 24 metres long, using the waters within the Clydeport Authority area. The plans were subsequently released on social media. Although proposed to be introduced on the 1st of April 2025, Clydeports did not publish a detailed plan for the fee, setting out, first of all, the rationale, the services to be provided, and also the administrative arrangements. Unsurprisingly then, the sector began to come to its own conclusions about the motives for introducing such a charge. Now, Clydeports attempted to justify the levying of Conservancy fees by citing examples from elsewhere in Scotland, where harbour charges are applied to leisure craft. However, the Clydeport area is 450 square miles. It's not regarded as a harbour and contains numerous remote waters with negligible commercial traffic. The examples include the Kells of Bute and the entire length of Loch Fyne, just to give 2 examples. Now, consequently, it's an area with many leisure craft, both local and visiting, with estimates of up to 50% of Scotland's leisure vessels. It's interesting then that none of the examples given by Clydeports are Conservancy fees applied to leisure vessels under 50 gross tonnage, plus they all relate to charges for the use of specific facilities such as piers, jetties and moorings belonging to the Port Authority in the relevant area. Yet Clydeports will not provide additional specific services and facilities, therefore claims that the proposed Conservancy fee is comparable to existing charges from other harbours and ports really is disingenuous. Presiding Officer, I brought this motion to the Chamber today because Inverclyde stretches along the west coast of Scotland and is home to several boat clubs and 2 first-class marinas. And many of my constituents are recreational boaters, and we frequently welcome visitors to our beautiful part of the country. Boating benefits my Greenock and Inverclyde constituency. It creates and safeguards jobs, and it is a draw for visitors. The marine tourism has grown locally and nationally thanks to the work of businesses and communities who want to show what our shores have to offer. However, the implementation of a Conservancy fee will damage my local economy. The volume of correspondence and level of anger regarding these Conservancy fee proposals is nothing like I have seen before. I've received emails from constituents and representations from boat clubs and marinas from across the UK. In addition, the petition I started on the Change.org website has over 4,600 signatures. Now, quite simply, people will stop coming to the Clyde and the west coast of Scotland. Now, members of the cross-party group are particularly frustrated that Clydeports have twice turned down invites to our meeting to explain their proposals. This has further led to the sector feeling like it is going to be imposed upon them without their actual input. Now, fundamentally, the recreational boating sector contributes significantly to Scotland's coastal communities. And other MSPs will recognise this with their own constituencies and regions. Therefore, the last thing that this sector needs is for recreational boaters to be targeted with an unjustified and extortionate fee. It's also unclear as to how such fees would be collected. Now, who would pick up the admin burden and who is responsible for actually enforcing such a charge? These are things, and many more, these are things that Clydeports have just not answered in any dialogue that they've had with individuals and representatives from the various boating clubs and marinas. the more the proposals are scrutinised, the more questions there actually are, which has led the sector and the public to conclude that it's quite simply a cash grab. In concluding, Presiding Officer, I want to emphasise that this is not about recreational boaters being unwilling to pay for their pastime. Sailors have always expected to pay for harbour, berthing and mooring fees. They are happy and they want to pay for what they should be paying for. And every MSP here recognises that this is not the action of the Scottish Government. This is the action of a private company. Now, my ask, though, of the Scottish Government, however, is to, first of all, continue the dialogue with Peel Ports to ensure that this cash grab does not come to fruition, and secondly, to look at the Harbour Authority powers, either via revision orders or replacing the 1964 Harbour Authority Act. This Act was designed for a different time, unlike now. The Clyde does belong to the people, and it should be managed for the people, not a private enterprise. Thank you.